Hi, so like many of you, I have pre-ordered games in the past. Should I have done? Maybe not. Now, with the comparatively still recent release of the newest title in Assassin's Creed, there have been a plethora of issues with it, from the horrific image of the floating face parts. It's one thing that really gets me, to falling through the ground, or what has been dubbed the hay carts of death. It's clear that there was a model of just ship it, it's fine, we'll have their money, in so much as, they even went to the extent of not allowing reviews for the first, I believe, 12 hours, which is a big warning sign. It's a big flag saying, do not buy, this is broken. I mean, the first thing they fixed was, amongst other things, obviously the Helix credits. Now, for those who don't know, those are basically virtual credits. That's another way of them saying, oh no, we need to fix them getting money to us quickly. That's not a good thing. This is not the way an industry should be run. Imagine buying an album on, whether it's a physical item or on iTunes or similar digital delivery methods. Now, you get that home, and all the tracks are pretty much like demo versions. There's rough takes, the singer's voice is a bit gravelly, when they don't normally have that, they have a wonderful clear tone. And it's definitely not a different direction for them. It's clearly not meant to be there. There's a couple of notes that are really quite off in the arrangements, and they then go, well, it's fine, we'll re-release the things if you just give us some more money and patch it up. You'd be like, no, I'm never buying an album from those people again. And you probably wouldn't go to any of the shows, which is really where the money's at in the music industry. But I've talked about the music industry's issues before. This is the game industry now, and but that comparison does hold up. You wouldn't go and watch a film in a movie theatre or cinema if you live in the same country I do. And then kind of go, oh, unfinished effects. And then they offer to patch it up, and re-release it, and again you go to the cinema, pay the money, and oh look, there it is in final view. Unless, obviously, you are a movie reviewer who gets screeners that are pre-final edit and final effects. You're not going to be happy with that. And yet the game industry, we seem to allow to get away with it. It's really crazy. And like I say, don't pre-order. Because what happens then is they've already got the money, and it doesn't matter what they release. Because then you complain a bit and they go, okay, we've got a patch. And you go, oh, alright then. Oh wait, this is still broken. Oh, we've got a patch. It's not right. I'm not saying that patches that add anything are a bad thing. I'm not necessarily saying that DLCs themselves are a bad thing, unless it's just allowing you access to content already in the game. That one's a bit of a naughty manoeuvre, really. But the main point of this is, you should have a released game that is finished, that's it. That's perfect. I mean, okay, there might be some weird, untested elements that you just could not have predicted. Those come up, and you have to get them fixed. That's fine. We expect that, technology will sometimes throw up little issues, little errors. It can happen. With all the best intent in the world, that's fine. But when a game clearly has all of these issues, and you're kind of flagging it to us by saying, this cannot be reviewed until everyone's pretty much got day one copies. Anything that comes with a day one patch is a bad idea. Particularly as well if that day one patch is pre-announced. This means they're not even willing to push back the date a little. Because unfortunately, again, the weird thing of where the gaming industry's got it a bit wrong is they've turned it on their head, where the marketing is deciding when the game's finished, not the developers. It's not a good idea. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a good idea that we need to start really voting with our finances, I guess, and saying we're not going to accept unfinished games that you'll then promise to do up later on. No, we're not doing that. No. Now, I do want to say before I conclude that this doesn't include, necessarily anyway, crowd-funded projects by independent developers. They don't have the billions of dollars that a AAA publisher does. They don't have that kind of resource, and sometimes these Kickstarter projects or whatever, are their best, sometimes even only, way of making sure they get a finished product out that they're happy with. And okay, both pre-ordering and these kind of crowdsourced or crowd-funded projects seem to offer perks for it, but that's just a way of kind of saying, well, if you give me this, I'll give you that. It's kind of a fair deal when it comes to Kickstarters, because normally I'll give you that includes a copy of the game. Even like at the base level, it's like, yes, this is effectively you buying into the game, so you'll get a copy. And obviously higher tiers, you get more, or earlier access, or you in the game somehow, or whatever. And as I say, those independent projects, sometimes it's the only way they'll ever get out the door, and that's a good thing. We need to obviously keep that independent avenue open. But when it comes to the big companies, they don't need your money up front. Seriously, if they released quality finished games like they used to, then they're going to get money in, no matter what. I mean, technically, yes. As it stands now, they're going to get money in no matter what, but they know that. And as I say, we need to make them realise that it's not how it works. You don't just get our money and then go, oh, sorry, is it broken? Have a little patch. No, stop it. And until next time, take care.